I must tell you, that's what love looks like. Love looks like beyond where we were born and who raised us. Looks beyond if we're in a relationship or not in a relationship. Looks beyond if we have a relationship with our birth family or we have a relationship with our community here. The truth is that most of us have a pretty good relationship with some of our family, and some we have been alienated from completely. I'm so sorry for that. I'm so sorry when family turns their back just because we might have someone else that we love. But there's nothing worse than going through one of those dark night of the souls and feeling like you have no place to go.
Amen.
This is God's house. This is a house of prayer.
Amen.
It's a house of refuge.
Amen.
It's a place to wrap love around you as you grieve. Because we don't become who we are because it's easy. Amen.
Amen.
God doesn't bring us through just shining as easy. Most of us have learned our faith by walking through some pretty dark nights. You know, and if we all think it's all going to work fine if I have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, I'm telling you, how many do you still see around after 5 years? What about 10 years? Right now. What about 15 years? You know a couple that's been together for 15 years, gay couple, straight couple, one. Anybody else? How about 20 years? 20 years, one. If we depend on that to be our family and our love, we are going to live an existence outside of community. And that's what we saw in this clip, what it was like to be totally left out of community. And how were these women going to make a new community? And how Boaz took them all in. Ruth has a baby and presents it to Naomi. She has a male heir there. You know, I can't imagine what it would be like today to feel totally disenfranchised like they felt. But the odds of us all coupling up and having this nice little coupling up church probably is not going to happen. Some will couple up, some will come and go, some will remain faithful. Gary and Kathy remained faithful. Some of that will happen. So that just goes even farther for me to say we need to build community because we all need to have it. Because sometimes life's going to do something and we can't figure out what to do with all the emotional pain we're in. Amen? Amen. Any of you ever been in there and thought, if the pain don't stop, I can't get it stopped? Amen. How you wait for morning to come because your heart is broken? Your heart is broken over what could have been, what should have been, what didn't happen. And they found God. Even in the midst of being all alone, she sings on here about how good God has been to her. Wow, is that a major attitude change?
Amen.
I saw a book in the store the other day because you might know I have a real scroungy cat right now that bit me. And I found this book that said Catitude, and I thought, that's my cat, Catitude. Maybe I have a catitude. You know, we have the ability to change how it's always been.
Amen.
We have an ability to actually step outside of the box and say, what is the wonder we've always wanted and how can we achieve that? You know, just because something has been a trend does not mean it's necessarily healthy.
Amen.
You know, I'm watching on TV about where there's these kids, they go get all your pills out of the cabinet, and then they go to these drunken parties and they throw all the pills in there and they take a whole handful of pills and drink it with booze. Is it called slushing? Did I get the right name for that?
I believe so.
Oh my goodness. You know, when you see that commercial and said, this is what I had after my hysterectomy and this is when I have to have a knee. No, I'm kidding you. That's scary. Yeah, but you know, when I look back in the 70s, there used to be a tradition of throwing your keys in a great big bowl, and then you draw out the keys who you're going to go with, you know? I'm not kidding. We have done this kind of behavior before, and it just tears me up. But what I want to see within us and everybody here is something that says, don't urge me to leave you or turn back from you. Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me, be it ever so severely, if anything but death separates you and me. Why do we only use that for covenants between two people? Why do we say this is reserved for 2 people? Does that mean only in this operation, that time with those 2 people, we're going to walk out that kind of covenant? Doesn't mean it. It means when we walk out covenant with each other, we all have to figure out how the toilet paper goes on. You got this much family, you have to figure out who always uses the last one and leaves it in there. You know, who I never look at the roll empty. You know, so then I got to go try to get off the pot over there to get the toilet paper, which is not really convenient. You know, for you guys to look at the love between David and Jonathan as an example about love. This also has been looked out through queer eyes and queer theology to make them be maybe, just maybe they're not straight. But you know, I think beyond that is the way that they said, this is love.